Welcome back to Kim McDonald Studios, where today it's going to be just a quick one. This one is actually for everyone, but for more than everyone, it's for my recent students. We had an intermediate pouring class this week where we used silicone, and I promised them a video to show them step by step how to clean their pieces once they're cured. And different artists have different methods for doing this. This is just how I do it, so bear with me. It's a 4-step process. You're going to need a couple of cloths. Now I get these from the paint section at like Home Depot, Lowe's. These are like the cottony, and I like them because they're soft and they don't leave residue, so they work great for this purpose. But you're going to need a dry one, and you're going to need one that you're going to get wet. This one looks dirty, but trust me, it's absolutely clean. It's just really old. So in this 4-step process, everything that you need. We've got the 2 rags, and I use cornstarch right here, pure 100% cornstarch, nothing else in this. You can go to the bakery aisle if you want to and get the cornstarch there, but this was a big bottle at a big deal at Walmart, and it was really cheap, so I grabbed it. Another thing you're going to need is rubbing alcohol. In this case, you know, with pouring, we talk about that the higher the number, the better. For cleaning, I really wouldn't go above a 91. So 91 or lower. The only reason I say that is because I don't want to risk reactivating anything in here. And that's what I normally use when I paint is 99%. And that's a little high for this. So I've got some 91% that I'm going to use. And actually I keep it in a little spray bottle. So what I'm going to do later is this little polishing dry cloth that I have. I'm going to use the alcohol with that towards the end. So that's really all you need, other than something to wipe this off with when you use the cornstarch. What I like to use is a soft but somewhat firm brush, so you can get the powder off. Okay, so it's actually really simple, but here's the deal. This one was done in April, and there is still silicone on this, as chalky as it looks because I used Floetrol. There's definitely oil, silicone oil still on this. And I'm going to show you something I did recently. Okay, remember this pour? It's about a week old. I was going to use this one in this demonstration, but not after it's sitting for a week. It needs to sit for at least another week or 2, and then I'll clean this one and get it ready for its next step, which is going to be embellishing. But I want to get the oil off of there first before I do that. But when I poured this, I also poured some skins, like I like to do. When I have a little bit extra paint at the end of the deal, I just make a little baby pour cup, and I pour it right on the plastic out on the side to, you know, make whatever I want to make out of the skins when they're done. These skins are from that painting that we just saw. But if you look at the mat that it's on, I don't know if it's going to let me focus on that or not. Let's put my hand there. There we go. Let's put my hand on there and we'll bring it up. Okay, can you see the dots? I hope you can. Oh, I can see where the light hit them. That's just from the skin sitting there. That's fresh silicone oil right there. So yeah, it's big bad stuff. It does cool things. But, and you know what? Just by taking those skins off and putting them on the plastic beside me on my table, I just spread the silicone to that. You can easily spread it to your fingers, get it on your tools, and then you're doing a pour and you don't know why you got those cells. Because silicone hangs around. Good thing I'm getting rid of the plastic on this when I'm done here. So whether I'm contaminated or not, this is the right video for it because we're going to fix all that. So the first step is you're going to take one of your rags, and I don't like to use hot water because, again, I don't want to reactivate this, but I don't want to use cold water either because you want it slightly warm, I would say lukewarm, so that you can activate and grab onto the oil. Because if it's cold, it just is, you have to do it longer. I've already done this part. I'm not going to do it again, but it's just, I used a little tiny bit of dish soap in the water, wrung it out really, really good, and then just did it quick, like that. The reason I'm not doing it now is because at this step, when I do this with the wet cloth, I like to let it sit for about 15-20 minutes before I go in with the powder. And just to make sure all the moisture's gone. At least the moisture from the water. Now, we've got a lot of the silicone off of that by just doing that. This is where the cornstarch really comes in. And I'm just liberal with it. I just put it all over. And then I come in and rub it. Thank you, Anne-Marie Ritterhoff. This came from her, so. Because I didn't use silicone before I met Anne-Marie Ritterhoff. So then I had to learn this technique to get it off. So I'm just rubbing it in everywhere I can. You're going to see me in a minute rub the edges because there are silicone on your edges as well. Just want to make sure it's in here in every nook and cranny. It's such a fine powder, it's not scratching the surface. And even if it did, these acrylics can take that and still come out without even showing anything. Okay, let's get some on the sides. Okay. You should probably wear a mask at this point. I don't. It's my own fault. But yeah, these powders, you don't want to breathe that stuff. But what you do is put this on, just like I just did, get it all in there. Some people use a toothbrush. I don't really think you need to go that deep, as long as you rub it in really good and let it sit for a little bit. I'd say 5-10 minutes. And I did wash this down really well, so I'm just going to leave this here for about 10 minutes and come right back. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes. Actually, I really normally like to let them, not these little ones, it doesn't matter. My big paintings, I'll let them sit for an hour because they're so big and they really, I want to make sure that all of the silicone is gone, because that is a good way to ruin a good resin job. It's just not fun. If you've seen some of my older resin videos, you'll know. You get those craters that won't fill. That is your silicone. I've seen people go to resin pieces and go, wait a minute, why is it doing that? There's no silicone in this painting. Well, it got contaminated somehow. So that's why I take very good care of how I store my silicone. Okay, so I got most of that there. And then what I do, this part I do outside. I'm going to start it here, but I take it outside for this part. But I just take my brush. See, there's still a lot. There's still a lot on there. You can see that right there. And like I said, this is a firm brush, but it's soft too. It's not going to be, it's not scratchy. I can taste the cornstarch. Excuse me. Alright, so I'm going to go get the rest of this off outside. I'll be right back. Okay, got the brush off done. Okay, so the next step is we're going to take that same moist, warm cloth with a little bit of soap in it, and we're going to get the rest of this cornstarch off of here. Really quick, you're just going to go through. You don't want to reactivate anything, so just, you want to be thorough, but you don't want to stay in one place. You want to get it done quick. Okay. I'm going to do my edges. Even though these edges are going to be refinished because this is particle board that I poured on. It was a test pour and it turned out really nice, so I need to build a cradle on the back of it, and then I will resin it. So, okay. So that, we did the wash, we did the cornstarch, we did the wash, so that's step 3. Now we're on to the last step. I'm actually going to let this sit for about 10 minutes again, but in your time it'll be instant, and I'll be right back. This is another reason why I like to have circulating air in my studio. So, okay. Yep, we're totally dry. It wasn't really wet anyway, but I wanted to make sure, because I don't want to mix the alcohol with the water and just, you know, this is how I do it. Okay, so at this point, this is my clean cloth. It's dry, and my 91% isopropyl alcohol, rubbing alcohol. And I'm just going to spray it on this. You'll hear me on the side. A couple of sprays over the front of this. The only reason I do that is because it leaks when I spray it, and I didn't want it everywhere. So this is our alcohol side. I'm going to do the same thing I did with this rag just a minute ago, the wet rag. And yeah, you got to move fast. I even felt it try to stick a little bit onto the rag, but I think we're okay. Well, nothing even came off, so we're really good. Usually at this point, when you get to this point and you're wiping it off, it's already evaporating, so I'm not rubbing it in. You might sometimes see a little color on this. That's normal. This has really been curing for a couple of months. If it had been a couple of weeks, you might see a little color on here, but I think we're good. So at this point, it just goes gets in line for when I get back to it this next time. And yeah, that's what's next for this piece. Is it's gonna get I'm gonna build a cradle on the back of it, finish the sides, and then we're gonna resin it. So you'll see this one in the future when we resin. So it was a quick one, but I hope you got something out of it. I love this piece, except I'm looking at it my way when I want you to see it the way it's supposed to go. There. That's the way I want it to be when it's all done. But yeah, when you get resin on this, it's just going to pop. These purples are going to just wow you. Can't wait to do that. So I hope to see you around for that one. Thank you for supporting this channel so much. Your donations mean everything to me. Your subscriptions, your thumbs up, your sharing of the videos is huge. I do see when that happens, and it just makes my whole day. So thank you very much for all of that. And I'll try and get another one up quicker than in a few weeks. Maybe in the next couple of days, maybe? Okay.